Today we've been talking about animals and how they adapt to their environment. And specifically we've talked about the senses that each animal has and how they use them to survive in their environment. And so we're going to just gather and talk about what sense you think is the most important and what you've noticed about them as we've talked about these animals. So anybody have an opening thing they'd like to make? And be sure to talk nice and loud.
I think the sense of voice is the best because then animals can contact other animals of where they are and what they're doing.
I think the sense of hearing is the best because you can hear things to hunt and hear other animals to hear where they are, what they're doing, and basically to even find a mate or something.
I think the sense of sight is important. That way they do not eat their own food.
I think the sense of smell is best because if an animal is blind and they can easily just track down the food if there's no smell.
I also think the sense of sight is good because the animals, they can see their prey from far away. I also think sight is an important sense because they need sight to help so they can track down their prey.
I also think sight is one of the most important senses for an animal because without sight they can't see if anything's preying on them.
I think the sense of hearing is a very important sight because if they can hear if animals are coming to get them and kill them.
I think the sense of touch is important because then they can touch around to see where they are going. I also think the sense of hearing is helpful because they can hear if there's prey.
I also think the sense of hearing is important because, like, if something is coming up behind them, they can tell if, like, another animal is coming or if it's just, like, the wind blowing.
I think hearing and eyesight are the best because if an animal was blind, they could easily use their hearing and ears to look for everything. And if their ears weren't as good and their sight was, they could easily see things with their sight and everything.
I think that sight is the most important because some animals don't have that well of hearing. So, and if you're a predator, it's basically you don't see, you really can't get food, and if you can't get food, you basically die. So,
I agree that sight is the most important because if your hearing was bad, and if an animal's hearing was bad, and it couldn't hear anything, it could look around for predators and its food.
Okay, so we've heard lots of different opinions about which one we think is the most important, so how are we going to move forward on working this out?
Back to Jake, I think that it really matters on which type of animal it is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like eagles have great eyesight, dogs have great smelling. Yeah, the falcons, birds,
Raptors.
rabbits, owls have great hearing.
It just matters with the animal. They're all very important. It just matters what
a lot
animal
of raptors.
and how good its sense is of each sense.
A lot of raptors have good eyesight.
nose to the ground and like tracks a earthworm for
Animal survival.
We were coming upon one.
Yeah.
What do you think then?
Okay. What?
When we said all senses are really good, it just kind of matters what animal.
Yeah. Yeah, and like cats have a great sense of sight and hearing. Cats are so they can hear and see their way in the dark.
Dogs
Yeah. Same with dogs.
Yeah.
But they also have smell. They have great smell,
Yeah.
great hearing,
Dogs-
and great sight.
Dogs.
Okay.
Rabbits have hearing and dogs have smelling. I think that most animals have like one of their own, and it matters what animal it is.
Awesome. Again, let's see if there's some kind of an agreement we can come about what you're thinking about some of the sentences and their importance for the animal's survival.
We were coming upon one.
Yeah.
What do you think then?
Okay. What? Well, we said all senses are really good. It just kind of matters what animal.
Yeah. Yeah, and like cats have a great sense of sight and hearing. Cats are so they can hear and see their way in the dark.
Dogs
Yeah. Same with dogs.
Yeah.
But they also have smell. They have great smell.
Yeah.
Great hearing.
Touch to find your way home.
Okay, but again, I think we have two kind of thoughts going. One thought that, well, really depends on the animal, and then we keep coming back to specific examples of, oh, this particular sense is really good for this particular animal. So how are we going to kind of come to consensus in the end what we think?
Because it really does matter what the animal is.
Yeah.
How many people are in agreement with Zach that it really does? Oh,
And Star-nosed moles is
all right.
actually
Okay, then one final comment. Jack, can I ask you to kind of sum this up for us, because I haven't heard from you yet.
I think that like every animal has like one of its own